Okay. Wanted to address something that a few people have mentioned on my videos with Ripley. And of course, this isn't going to be a Ripley video. So, the basis here is just to kind of, I don't know, explain what perceptions might be out there. And, the comment was made, or comments, in a roundabout way, different ways. And, they really, one of them was on my BitChute channel, and the rest of them were kind of behind the scenes, which about me getting soft, and you know, I'll admit it. Yeah, ever since I got Ripley, I've gotten soft, but that is only with my dogs. I was soft with Joey too. This is not how I go about my daily life. I don't act this way all the time. I have a big heart when it comes to my dogs, and I treat them very well. And I don't mind the baby talk. And actually, I like all animals, as a lot of you that have been with me for a long time. When I've done the videos on the cranes out there, and feeding them, and with the birds, and the way I talk to them, I know it's the kind of a baby talk thing, which you know, yeah, I'm kind of like that with animals. I just have a different way of dealing with them. Now, being that I present myself, on YouTube with millions of people, and everybody has different opinions, and I know that 5, 6 years ago when I was involved in the Manosphere community and everything else, that I was pretty harsh, and my opinions have mellowed, but my lifestyle has not. Okay, I still live this way. I still live like a monk. I enjoy living with my dog. I enjoy my solitude, my freedom. Mostly, I enjoy my solitude, which I'm able to have with a dog. A good dog, especially one like Joey was and Ripley is now. So, yeah, when it comes to dealing with people out there in the world, I don't find the need to be nasty to them, aggressive, or, I have mellowed a lot in my old age. There's no doubt about that. I mean, in my 20s, I was a complete chaotic nightmare, that was really a scary thing. And, I think it shows in some of my old videos with, telling the stories of Daytona back in the day during the 70s and everything. And as you know, I rode with, one percenter clubs back in the day. And, I mean, the whole lifestyle was there, and I lived it. I wasn't playing a game. But as you grow older, you grow a little smarter. You go through some hard knocks that you don't want to repeat. You learn your lessons, and but it doesn't mean that I've gotten weak. You know, if somebody pushes the issue with me, or if they're going to be an asshole, then I've always said this before, and I guess it's gotten lost in time here, that no matter how much somebody wants to escalate a problem with me, I'm willing to go way beyond that, usually into a reality where they don't want to go. And if they do, it's just going to be a bad situation for both of us. Somebody's either going to be dead and going to prison, and or, should I say. So, you really have to understand that, you know, being a badass all the time isn't necessary. Okay, that I don't know. It isn't that important anymore, especially when you get to my age and you realize that what are you fighting anymore? The young men are always fighting something, and or the young girls too. I mean, everybody nowadays. Look at the foolishness going on in colleges and all these protests with you know Trump there and everything like that. You know, it's all young kids really. You know, you rarely see any old guys out there doing this happy horseshit, and if they are, they're the ones that didn't grow up. They're the ones that didn't get smart. They didn't learn how to get a life. They didn't, uh, you know, start to consider what's more important to them other than going out there and stirring up shit. And you know, this has been going on since I've been alive in the '60s with the protests back then, with the Vietnam War, the hippie days, of, you know, the free love, the whole 9 yards of the drugs back then, and uh, you know, that was the times back then, and you know, very little has changed in as far as the youth being very rebellious, and I was part of that rebellion, not against the Vietnam War. Obviously, I was in the military, and you know, it was a very bad time to be in the military back then because you know, the whole thing was rather what do you call it, low morale, you know, that we had, and you know, that has since changed. I mean, well, for the most part, but anyway. So, you know, don't get the wrong impression here that because, you know, I do these things with Ripley and, you know, do these videos and I enjoy doing them. I enjoy keeping uh, the good people involved that were uh, keeping him going, keeping him alive, keeping him well, uh, you know, making sure that he wasn't put down, um, you know, things like that. So, me treating these people kindly is reciprocal. I mean, there's no reason uh, to be rude to anybody. You know, and that look that doesn't uh, have anything to do with gender either. You know, um, I've had more guys come into my past videos giving me crap and talking down to me than I ever had women. Now, I had my fair share of women come in, especially on that one video, and I think I removed it. Uh, Maybe I didn't. I don't know. You'd have to go back in my own thing there. But, you know, on the female ride day thing, which to me seemed like a joke, why anybody in the world would need a day put aside to get on a motorcycle and ride. You know, my wife rode. You know, she just rode when she wanted to ride, and we both rode together. So anyway, that was a humorous video, but of course, some of the what do you want to call them? Your staunch, you know, manly feminist types had to come out of the woodwork and try their shaming tactics, which of course doesn't work with me. And I really don't care what they think. To me, it was just a humorous, funny video, you know, pointing out some of that kind of stuff. So, uh, you know, being soft and being weak are two different things. You know, don't confuse them. Uh, you really don't want to get me wound up. Not so much in the comments section because that to me is childish shit. You know, if you're going to be a troll, I'm either going to delete you or just not reply to you. Uh, you know, do it to me in real life, and you'll find a whole different person in front of you. Um, it it won't go well. So, you know, I enjoy being kind and treating people well, and if they treat me well, of course, you know, and being good to animals doesn't make me soft. Okay, so I just kind of thought I'd make a quick video. Well, quick with me, nothing's ever quick, but you know, to point out that there's a difference, and you know, yeah, if you're going to compare me to the guy I was 6 years ago, I've mellowed out quite a lot. Yeah, and like I said, it hasn't changed my way of living, and you know, it's not like I'm going to run out and get married, or you know, uh, I I enjoy my bachelor life now, if you want to call it that, and I protect it, uh, as much as I can. Um, but you still have to go out and deal with people on a day-to-day basis. So that has nothing to do with relationships or, you know, me getting soft and, I might go back into the old ways, which, look, I've been married twice, God knows how many girlfriends and whatever. And it really, it just got old to me, the whole thing. It's not that I have any type of hatred for it. It just got uninteresting. It just doesn't apply in my life. So, you know, try to look at this. I'm not like a lot of these guys that get out there, and then start bashing on people and really ripping them down. And look, there's horrible people out there, sure. You know, I mean, look, the clubs I ran with, a lot of those guys that were in those clubs were real scumbags, huge scumbags. And, it's, you got to take everybody on their own condition and basically not let people get too much into your personal life, into your what you want to do. When you're out and about and you're dealing with people publicly, there's just no reason. I mean, unless they come at you wrong, you know, there's no reason to have that kind of an attitude. It doesn't help. Okay? And it puts people off for one thing, and then it makes them defensive right off the bat if you come off like an asshole to start with. So, I usually take people as they act with me and how I perceive that. And if it's normal, it's normal. So, okay, enough with the softness and weakness shit here, guys. Or maybe there was a lady in there that said it too. I don't know. But yeah, most of it is coming from guys. And, I thought we'd talked about this many times in the past that shaming language from guys is really kind of a female attribute. So think about that good and hard too. In either case, yep, that's the video for me. Thought I'd put it out there. Ripley's sleeping right here at the bottom of my chair, but yeah, I was even thinking maybe making another channel for Ripley and Me, calling it Ripley and Me. And wasn't there a movie that was named something like that with that blonde-haired guy? Anyway, maybe I should do that. I'm considering making another channel for that because this channel here is basically, talking about doing things like working on the cars, working on the bikes, doing a couple of ride videos when I get a chance, and doing the bonsai thing occasionally, the plants, the gazebo build, doing all these different projects that I've done here, wiring an electrical outlet for the generator, how to fix a well pump, all these type of videos I want to keep on here. And I know the people that are, interested in Ripley and how he's progressing really don't care about those kind of videos. So I might split it up. I don't know. We'll see. Trying to run two channels might be a little bit much. Just keeping this channel kind of interesting, if you want to call it that, and up to date with certain things, it's hard enough. But here's the deal too, that if I don't have a problem at the house, I mean, I needed to patch the roof for the second damn time this year, which I need a new roof, but that's not going to happen. So, patching the roof and making a video of it, to me, is kind of stupid because, all I'm doing is globbing down this tar under shingles and stuff. And normally my cars, since I don't drive very much, don't need a lot of work. So I can only do that when things come up like I did with the Ranger, because the Ranger needed a ton of work So that kept going into a lot of different videos. The Lincoln needed a fair amount of work. The bike, people wanted to know how to change a rear tire on one, and I did that, and I did a full maintenance video on the bike. But again, well, I haven't ridden the bike in 2 months, to my shame, due to the weather and the heat and everything. But plus dealing with him now, trying to keep him, you know, in uh, in the calmest fashion possible until he gets used to things. So I don't know. Maybe tell me what you think. You think I should do another channel, or give me some ideas there, because I know I've got like crowds that are interested primarily in Ripley, then crowds that are primarily interested in car repair, and others that are in general like the whole context of everything I've done. And you can always not watch a video and you know look for something new or better. Uh, but coming up with new stuff right now, there's not a whole lot going on except for Ripley. So this is why I've been making a lot of them on Ripley, and I know people are, they want to know what's happening to him, and I want to share that so that everybody feels that it's working out well. Which I like to conclude most of my videos with something that's been brought to its conclusion, if you will, to where it worked out well. So anyway, there it is. All right, for the third time, I'm out of here. I will